So I've already recorded the video, but this is going to be at the beginning of the video, and I wanted to share it, but I forgot. So through my journey of like the depression and health anxiety, I actually found this YouTuber, and I'll link him down below. His name is Trey Jones. His videos through like health anxiety, you know, alcohol and anxiety, all these other types of things. He makes all these videos, and honestly, like, I feel like he pulls thoughts out of my head, and he like went through like the same experience that I did. So his videos have really helped me out. I will link his channel down below. Please go check him out, and I'll also link his Facebook group down below. I am in that group constantly, like, showing others support. When I have something going on, they show me support. So I'll link that down below. If you need any help through your journey through anxiety, panic attacks, anything, like, join that group because it is literally amazing. And yeah, I will be back with another video soon. Talk to you later. Bye. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So I posted a video of the ColourPop foundation review, try on, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck I named it because I'm filming 2 videos back to back, but whatever it is, that was my last video. And now hopefully the lighting is still somewhat good because I am going to be doing a life update today. And I've tried filming this video 2 other times, one on my phone, one on here, and I hated the way that they both turned out. Yes, typical YouTube, blah, 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 like that's what YouTubers do. But this is like a video that I hope will reach a lot of people, and I want it to be like a somewhat decent video for, you know, what I'm filming as of right now. So this is a life update, as well as I am 30 days sober. Now, I know that could sound dramatic to some people, like, Kim, you're fucking 31 years old, like, what do you mean sober? But I decided, because of what I'm going through and on my doctor's advice as well, that I needed to stop drinking, hopefully for a very long time, you know, but right now it's just like a day-to-day, month-to-month type of thing, but I do feel better. So what I am on here to talk about is something that I have actually been going through for, I want to say it started about 8 months ago, but it's gotten really bad within the last 4 months. And so for almost a year, obviously I didn't make any YouTube videos, but I really didn't start going through what I'm going through now until the end of to the beginning of this year. I have been going through depression and anxiety, which depression I have had literally my whole entire life, you know, well, not my whole life, but, you know, up until I could know what depression was, I've had it. Anxiety, I might have had, but didn't know what it was, or just assumed that, like, it really wasn't that big of a deal because I was very social, and so I was always going out. I was never afraid of much. So back in November, what I now know, but at the time I didn't know, I experienced my first ever panic attack. And I was sitting in my friend's car, and my sister and her had went to go get a Jamba Juice, and I was just looking at my phone, and all of a sudden, like, my head, like, I felt dizzy, and my heart was like racing, and I didn't feel quite right. And then all of a sudden, like, I just started like sweating, and I was just like, oh my God, like, what is going on? And I'm trying to stay calm because, you know, my friends, like, we're gonna go to a movie, like, we're gonna have fun, like, what the hell is going on? But like the whole time, like from the time we left Jamba Juice all the way to the movie, like, I'm sitting here like, should I say something? Like, something isn't right. And but I was so dumb. Like, I guess I didn't really ignore it. Like, I just didn't know really how to explain what was going on. And so then, like, work got a little bit, like, I was working a lot and all this stuff, and then about a month later I was standing at the front desk about to go get lunch, and like the same thing happened again. I felt dizzy, and I was just like, my heart was like racing, and then like someone asked me, like, you know, are you okay? Like, what's the matter with you? And I'm just like, I don't know. And so we went into the cafeteria, and I could not, oh my God, like, talking about this is just bringing me back to it, so I'm gonna try my best. But I went into the canteen, cafeteria, whatever the hell you want to call it, and there was just people in there were like waiting in line. This is something I did every day. I hated being in there, but I just never, it didn't matter to me, you know, like I just went in there and it was just what I did. But this day I was like, no, I've got to get out of here. Like, I can't do it. So like I went on a walk and it wasn't helping. It was getting worse because all I could think about was like going, you know, back into work, and I had all this work to do, and like I don't even know, like all these things were coming out of nowhere. I had other things that had happened that were just now like piling up. So in order to deal with that, I decided that I would just start drinking. And I was already a drinker, like before then, you know, like I'd hang out with my friends, we'd have like a few beers, you know, like every few nights or something, you know, whatever. But at this point, it was like getting to the where like I didn't even want to leave the house because it seemed like every time I left, like I was in this panic. So, but that day, back to that day, I went on a walk and I was telling my boss, I was like, you know, I don't feel right. And I happen to work at a hospital, so I was like, I don't want to drive myself to my hospital, so I'll just, you know, go to the ER here. And my heart rate was a little bit up, and I was explaining to them like these like symptoms that I was getting, and like, so then of course like they made me do like a pregnancy test, and I about hit the floor because I was like, there's no fucking way like I'm pregnant, but okay, I'll take the test. And, you know, I went and did my blood test, and I remember like someone had to like wheel me like down to the lab because I didn't want to walk because I was just like not feeling good, and I didn't understand like what was happening. Like I didn't get it. So my only solution was to just drink, and the more I drank, the more like my symptoms like I guess got better. You know, I forgot about it, I guess, and I wasn't panicking, and I could go out to social events and I was fine. And then I traveled to the East Coast to visit one of my friends for her baby shower. And I've never flown by myself 3,000 miles. Like, I've flown by myself to Washington, but I've never flown by myself across the country. So, again, I'm, like, nervous. And I'm like, what if I have a panic attack on the plane? No one's there that I know. No one's there going to be there to calm me down. So, I drank. And I drank from the time I got to the airport. And then I obviously took I think I drank on the plane a little bit, and then I took a break and then got to Massachusetts. And then I was there, and I wasn't too panicky. Like, I was still kind of in the beginning stages of what I'm about to talk about, but it was getting worse. Like, I was just like, you know, and then on the last day that I was there, of course, because I was traveling home at this point, I was starting to panic a little bit. And so I, you know, I just dealt with it. I was even at my friend's baby shower. There was alcohol there, and I drank like 4 or 5 Coronas, and I was just like, now I can just, you know, socialize with everyone. Because I'm like a shy person anyway, so I think sometimes I would use it to like open up to people so I could talk to them. But now it was just so that I could get all these like thoughts of like something's gonna happen to me. You know, like, what if I have a panic attack? Like, or, you know, and at the time at this point, I kind of knew that I was having panic attacks, but now I'm like mixing it with like anxiety too. So fast forward to February, which is my birthday week. And this is the week that I had been looking forward to for a whole year. Me and my friend Taylor had bought tickets to go to the Supernatural convention, and we were meeting like Jared Padalecki and like all these people, and it was going to be like really exciting and really fun, and so now that I'm in this whole like panic mode or whatever I'm in, I'm like, I don't even want to do this now, you know. But of course I did. First night we get there, because we got there like 2 or 3 days before the convention started. So the first night we're there, I mean, we're on the plane. We're on the plane. And you know, airports, you break the rules. You can start drinking whenever you want. So I did. And I only had like 1 or 2 drinks. But when we got there, I was just like, you know, now I'm starting to notice like something in my mood has changed. I'm a very patient person. Like, if we're waiting in line, like, I'll bitch about it, but I'm just like, you know, like, whatever. Like, we can just chill here, and I don't care about, like, being in the crowd or whatever. I walk into this hotel. The check-in desk is atrocious. Like, there's just people, like, checking out, checking in. Signs are here. People are, like, trying to offer you, like, all these things, and I'm just like, it stinks in there. It's disgusting. And I'm like, now I'm just like starting to just not, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I was just like, okay, so Kim, you need to calm down. Like, you're here to have a good time. Like, I'm trying to like mentally process this. And so we finally get like checked in and blah, blah, blah. And then the first thing I decide is we're going to go. There's like a little like mini mart inside the hotel. We're getting champagne. We're doing this. And because I was so anxious, like I'm just thinking in my head of all the places that we're gonna go, and I don't even want to go. Like, I just want to stay in the hotel, or I don't want to do it. And so I decided, like, now I'm gonna get like blackout drunk. This is gonna take away all my anxiety, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have fun. I don't remember most of the night. I don't remember it. I woke up the next morning from the bits that I did remember, and I thought it was a normal night until all the rest of it started getting put together. I didn't get in any trouble. Apparently, I had fun. But I knew in the back of my head, I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't get, like, that way. Like, I mean, I'll drink, but I don't get to the point. Like, I've only, like, not remembered a night a couple of times up until, like, this situation where I just didn't care anymore. Like, I wanted the anxiety to go away. I wanted the worry to go away. I wanted to be able to be there for my friends so that I could have a great time. And I just didn't care. So this just went on like the whole trip. I was anxious most of the time. I'm actually wearing Jared Padalecki's shirt. Love yourself first. And it's totally true. Because I wanted to make everyone else happy, and this was my birthday trip, but I was not taking care of myself. I didn't know. So throughout the whole trip, I was just like anxious the whole time, and you know, I had fun for parts of it, and then other parts it was just like I couldn't wait to get home. Like, I just had like this overwhelming feeling like I didn't want to do anything. I thought something was wrong with me. And then this is where it really started to spiral out of control. So I got home, and I have Mondays off because I work 10-hour shifts, and one day, it was in March, I think, and I laid in bed all day long, like all day. I wasn't hungover, nothing like that. I stayed in bed all day. I barely got up to drink anything. I got up to go to the bathroom when I had to, but I wasn't even eating or drinking much, and I was just laying there, and I was just crying and crying and crying and crying, and I'm like, what is going on? You know, like, I don't do this. Like, this, now it's starting to freak me out. And mind you, throughout this process, I worked out 4 to 5 times a week for 3 years. And when all this stuff in my life happened, and even right now, I still don't work out, but I've been saying it, but I am getting back there. Like, I feel like I'm starting to like become more of who I was before. But I've never experienced anything like this, so I had no idea what's going on. But from this, just halting the working out part of it, I think contributed to this whole thing. Like, life definitely had a lot to do with it, but this like was a major factor, I think, because the working out kind of balanced out any stress that I had, but now I had nothing. So anyway, back to what I was saying is that I laid in bed all day, crying and crying and crying. And I believe, if I remember right, I called in the next day to work, and I was just crying. Like, I would stop, you know, I'd be watching YouTube or whatever, but I just wouldn't get out of bed. I didn't want to take a shower, brushing my teeth. Like, that was a big accomplishment of my day. You know, I just kept like feeling like something was going to happen. So then this is when it took a turn for what I'm still recovering from now, but it took a turn to where I became and developed what I now know as health anxiety. And I was Googling symptoms. All the time I thought that something major was wrong with me. I went to the ER. I remember one day I was supposed to go out with my roommate and her daughter, and I said, you have to take me to the emergency room. I don't feel good. I don't feel right. Something's wrong. And at the time I was still heavily drinking, so I was dehydrated. It was a mess. And so they took me there because I thought that something was wrong. And I get there and they're like, they're just like, you have to stop. You have to stop drinking. And I'm just like, at the time I was like, that's not what my problem is. No. And they're like, it might not be your only problem, but you are contributing to your anxiety with alcohol. And I was like, there's no way. Like, that does not contribute to it. So for 2 months, I'm still sitting here Googling my symptoms, a little pain in my head. Okay, now I've got this. My hand is shaking. Now I've got this, going to the doctors, doing all this. And it was like a really bad time. And the worst part of it all is that I pushed so many people away from me, and I had no idea why. I just wanted to be left alone. And the people that were affected were my close friends, because they were like, hey Kim, do you want to come hang out? Hey Kim, do you want to do this? No. Nope, don't want to do it. And I only left my house if I had to go to work, and then I would get to work and I'd start panicking or having anxiety, and I'd start crying, and I'd be like, can I go home? And I knew at that moment that I had to change something, because I have a very understanding boss, and I'm very lucky in that aspect. But at the same time, my depression is affecting everyone around me, and I had to make the choice to stop. I had to fix myself, for myself, but also because I'm ruining relationships around me, because I'm refusing to see that there's any sort of problem and that I can just fix it on my own. And I couldn't. And so my whole point to this video is, if you're having health anxiety, if you are drinking a lot, I was drinking to the point just a month ago, to the point where I was falling over. I fell down and I thought it was funny. And then the last time I drank, I remember being with my dad, and I was swaying back and forth, and I woke up and I was, so hungover, and my anxiety was through the roof, and I was like, this is the worst anxiety I've ever experienced. So my whole point to this video is, you are literally not alone. You're not alone at all. And there's so many people going through this. And it was up until recently that I knew I wasn't alone, but I had to go on this journey for some reason, and I feel like I wanted to share it with everyone on my channel, and I'll continue to share my progress on this channel. I've since stopped drinking, which I still do have anxiety, but now that I know it's like a health thing, I still go to my doctor sometimes, and I'm still pretty hypersensitive to certain things, but I am getting better. I've went to therapy now. I think my next appointment's next week. I have started an antidepressant. I know there are people out there that don't agree with medicine, and honestly it's taken me up until 3 weeks ago to even take a medication, but I was just getting to the point where it was I'm not helping myself, I'm refusing to help myself, and I just need a little help. So I am taking one. I'm on the lowest dose, and I'm actually starting to feel more like myself. And then as I progress in this journey, I do want to get off of it, get back to working out, getting back to my normal routine. But yeah, just remember, if you're going through anything, it doesn't have to be my exact symptoms, but just know that I'm always here. You can comment on my YouTube, message me through YouTube. I'll have my Instagram in there, whatever you want to do. I'm always here to talk, because I know what it feels like to feel alone, even when you're not. So yeah, that's my story so far. 30 days sober, and just working. I'm doing a little bit of meditating now. Gotta get my eating under control, because now that I don't drink, I think you just switch one habit for another, and now I just want to eat all kinds of food. But whatever. So yeah, I will share more of my journey as it progresses, but this is how it started. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.